Hey everyone, and welcome to the video. I'm North Central, and we are among the tombstones. We're here at Woodlawn Cemetery in Fairmont, West Virginia. Woodlawn Cemetery was incorporated into a cemetery in 1885, so it's got a little bit of history to it. There is, depending on what you read, somewhere around 11,000 to 15,000 souls that have been buried here. But today we're looking for one soul in particular. That's the soul of little 6-year-old Joseph Hamilton, who was the very first person to be buried here. So I'm going to kind of walk along the road here because, as you can see, it's rather snowy. And we are going through the historic district. You can see footprints going up through there. That wasn't me. So this is where there's going to be some of the older graves. Now, little Joseph was buried here in 1775, and he was 6. So he was actually born in 1869. And the Hamiltons were a fairly predominant family here in Fairmont, having money and land. And this was actually their land. Well, at least half of it was. So if you can imagine, back in them days, the graves and tombstones not being here. Okay, this was just farmland. The Hamiltons owned half of it, and they had a fence running down the center of it, running along down this way. And the other half was owned by another family. So something that you kind of have to understand is, back in these days, back in the 1875, things are a little bit different. Joseph was out hunting with a firearm at 6 years old. Now, there's not too many 6-year-olds these days that I know of that go out and do any type of hunting. But I'm assuming, since he had some brothers and sisters that were older, that he was kind of, wanting to be the older kids and do the things that the older kids, wanted to do. Kind of like now. But he had a firearm, and he was out hunting, and when he didn't come home, well, his family, of course, got a little worried. So they set up search parties. Beautiful mausoleum here. Really, really pretty. S.L. Watson. Great big obelisk. Great big cross. J.E. Watson says on it. J.E. Watson. So they ended up getting search parties and things together, and it didn't take them long. They found little Joseph. And what they said happened was, inadvertently, his firearm went off as he was climbing a fence, or the fence that was here, and shot himself in the chest and unfortunately killed him. Now, his grave is just up here a little bit. This place kind of took off as a cemetery more or less 10 years after little Joseph died. The cemetery in 1885 bought about 4 or 5 acres from both families that owned on either side of the fence here, right? And incorporated the cemetery, and of course then started to have the good people here around to buy different plots and whatnots. And that's the people that you see here. So this is the old section. Beautiful statue there. I am going to have to come up here and do a review at some point. So the caretakers do take care of this. It is well kept. I'm trying not to go very fast, but it's kind of difficult. His grave's up here about 20 yards, right over here. But some of these headstones are just absolutely beautiful. And I'm really walking in the snow here. So 1861 to 1931. Albert S. Hayden. That's a pretty headstone. April 17th, 1825 to March 3rd, 1902. So this area, the Civil War ended in 1865. So little Hamilton died in 1875. So he wouldn't have known the Civil War. It would have been over by then. West Virginia became a state in 1863. So it was already a state of West Virginia. And right here is his grave. And it is really, really worn. Let's get up here and see if we can't see anything. So Joseph Ritchie Hamilton. He was born in 1869. He died in 1875, but I can't really make out much of anything else. Unfortunately, these are made out of limestone. And in this type of climate, this is what happens to them when these tombstones become older like this. They almost kind of melt. So here's his mother and father. If I can't get a close-up of that. Elmius and Louisa. And I'm sure they were absolutely devastated when young Joseph was found dead. One more close-up. Rest in peace, young man. Rest in peace. Sorry, guys, I walked right past a veteran the first time I came up. Gotta get him. Kenneth W. Martin, PFC, U.S. Army, World War II, December 23rd, 1919, March 2nd, 2002. Thank you for your service, sir. All right, guys, so that's it. I'm going to walk around here a little bit more, familiar myself with the cemetery. This is my first time here, but that's it for this video. If you like the video, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. I really appreciate it. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the next one.